Video happening here on 4/8. We're coming on to a full moon. We talk about the astrology that is in Libra. And even though I'm unprepared, I'm going to talk about it. In general, Libra full moon, this one coming up here, is pertaining to our relationships because Libra focuses on that. It's very important to have that consciousness happening for us, and so Libra kind of takes care of it. But that's been difficult. It's been very difficult for the past 14 years for the Libra generation, let alone, okay, we're looking at all the cardinal signs, but Libra is starting to wake up. It's the part of the organism that says, I love. So talking about this full moon here coming up in Libra happens over the weekend. It's at 22 degrees, and that is where Chiron is. Sun conjunct Chiron. The sun is a very bright and shiny thing to have conjunct a planet that all you're doing is energizing or making it hyperactive, which Chiron has to do with our innermost subconscious, like wounding and the wounding. So it's getting near the degree of the United States, kind of, it's at hitting the cardinal hard angles, late degree. And why I bring that up is just that, well, there's a lot of karma that a certain kind of people have here, and it's kind of infecting, right? It's infecting the entire global population. I hate to talk about it. I mean, a lot of the planet suffers. I guess people are not as happy. I don't know. It's just depending on, see, now let's get back to Libra, right? Our ability to balance and create a balance. I think that we need to find out who we are, and in accordance to kind of resonation or just communicating, we regroup and we get like sanctuary away from, say, well, maybe some people don't want to do so much of the world the way that it's there. It's bad enough that they got us all doing social media, right? But there's a reason for that, and it's to precisely get together a kind of person that's here that after a while, don't you think that we should create a safety net economically, resourcefully, really our resources, which a lot of it is hooked into money. There's an overload of people that need help, I think, and they're struggling from day to day, made into a certain way about them, which is undesirable. Like, okay, so how in general, the money scene, how everybody seems to be looking for a deal, therefore they're a shyster or a miser or a thief or a two-face, you know what I mean? And like, well, it's like, well, what a great, can we not do that? Because after a while, you don't want to keep having to defend yourself and also compete and fight all the time. It's bad enough that doing anything else, everything else is that kind of a struggle. Now we have to do this rigmarole, right? Pardon me for sounding like a fucking idiot 5 minutes into it. But here we go. We have Mars. Uh, Mars is also involved with, I'm pretty sure, now let me look at it again. I think it's pretty crazy what happens this full moon. How Mars is right there with the, getting involved with the full moon. Well, we just had the Chiron square to Mars, just like the first week of April here, and it's been tough. There's a lot to look at, right? And it would be nice to have some good help in our lives. We think money is going to cover everything too, and it really just, I don't know. Does it? uh, we need good people in our lives anyway. So, hi, how are you doing? The 22nd of the 22nd degree here on the 12th is when the full moon occurs in Libra, and Mars is not all the way like square it, but it is square. It's square enough. After the full moon, Venus finally starts to go forward. We've been experiencing a Venus retrograde, kind of just crossing our fingers on our love life and all this stuff that we kind of depend that it will work naturally, but no, the thing that has come up is communication. And that's what's going to come up big time with this full moon. It's going to be very, very intense because it's square to Chiron, the sun is, and so is the moon. By that time, see, Mars will be 1 degree away from squaring my Mercury, and I can tell I'm getting kind of funkier and funkier feeling. And I just, bear with me, everybody. I haven't been able to make very good videos, communicatively wise. I mean, it's bad enough that Uranus, or Mercury is doing a backwards motion, and it went back to square my Venus. And I've had some strange stuff happen, like my washing machine broke down. It just went funky. It started running on it's electronic, right? So now it's doing a weird cycle on its own. So I had to unplug it about a week and a half ago when Mercury was going retrograde, and now I want to plug it in and see if it goes and just works fine now. Chances are it will. Just give it a little tap in the prayer and say, thank you, Mercury retrograde, whatever. Now, can I do my laundry? And another thing that happened too is, well, I'm having to re-up on all of my identity, like with my bank cards and my other cards and even my license. I have to, because I lost them. I don't know where they are. I think if I go to my mailbox, I might find them there, like at least my license might get sent back into my mailbox. It happened to me once before in my life. And if people find your license, they just kindly send it. They drop it at the mailbox and they put it back in my, right? It's kind of a small town that way, and we can have that happen to us. But the bottom line is that I lost all of that, and it happened at the wrong time because I really needed to use it. I got around it though. The good news is that I've been able to do more astrological chart readings on just my private message box, kind of loose reading there through private messaging on Facebook. I've done a lot of counseling actually throughout the 12 years of my life. It just hasn't been very good. See, I haven't had a very good mentality or demeanor, I guess you would say, for the last 4 years. Having call it a Neptune, pose my Venus, every little thing went on there. Would love to take a break from all of the confusion, right? So we try to make money. I think I'm gathering right now. It's like, well, I think really, money is here to protect us somehow. See, it helped me a lot all my life to just stay making a little bit of coin every once in a while here and there, right? Of course. Not supposed to talk about these things like money and what else, politics and anything. You're not supposed to talk about anything. So how the fuck do we get anything into us and get done, especially through communications devices? There's so many things we're not supposed to talk about. But here we are just strapped with communications devices here. What do you think it's all about, kids? I'm putting some interesting stuff, just kabloop the blop, articles on my Facebook that keeps pointing out at some things. And one of them is my English alphabet bit. Only because it's refining in me that I can see it's obvious. And, a lot of obvious is coming up to where that's no fun. I really wish I wasn't whatever, chosen to see that part of our reality, because what can I do about it? Well, I've been talking about it here, and it's kind of pathetic, right? I keep going around in circles, but no, it's the same with all of the organism right now. If you have some kind of beautiful thing that you're trying to make work for you, but it's been difficult for the past 5 months because the Mars is in Cancer, and our drives are like subdued. It's been dampened. It's like, can't light a match. It's hard to get a fire going. Our spirits are low, if not completely turned off and steaming, going cold. And we're like, oh God, we're getting down to the wire with this. Okay, so Mars does go into, oh God, you guys, when it does hit 0 degrees Leo, which is what we're waiting for to just get out of Cancer, but unfortunately, the sun is squaring it right before. See, it squares it in cardinal at 29. It reminds me of kind of like what happened when Pluto was doing this thing with the sun, and it was kind of escorted in like that with this 29-degree field. See, I predict financial collapse. I don't know if I put that video up, and I'm not able to. I just with this Mars transit. I'm sorry. Just bear with me, you guys. Hi, how are you doing? Can't believe you're still listening. Like and subscribe because it does encourage me to put a little bit more up, and it might encourage everybody to listen to my really important videos, in other places around the world. I don't know, babes. Every once in a while, maybe I do put on some good information, right? Like, what's good on this video, Shauna? I'm just talking about the full moon, how it's going to start. It's because it's in Libra. Oh, it's square to Chiron. It's going to emphasize the wounding that now, do we have relationships that heal us? Are you able to see communications is going to be huge because with this new full moon, because they tend to be a wrap up period, like, it's like a release and throw things out. It could be there's relationships that if they don't communicate into your life and heal you and bring you into a safe place to know that, well, can we even move anywhere or do anything from here with each other, right? We need safety. And if it doesn't communicate into us, communications, bottom line, it's going to be more and more squaring my Mercury. And please bear with me. My mind, I can't tell you how my mind feels with that happening. I've been handling Pluto squaring my Mercury. I know I've talked about it once, but if you're a late degree cardinal person, hi Patsy, anybody with 28, 29 degree, even 27, well, it's like we're not through this funky shit yet, not since the Pluto thing, because we've been messing with Pluto and Mars in this Cancerian place. And when Pluto moved into Aquarius, it was ushered in by Mars this last time. And it squared, it opposed. Mars opposed Pluto. And at that time, babes, the warlords are lighting things on fire and doing all kinds of stuff. Right under our noses. It's like blinding because we are trying to heal and stuff, and we are down for the count, but nobody's supposed to notice all the stress coming upon us, upon us, upon us. Just ignore the fact. Okay, so by April 19th, they could who are they? Whoever controls the weather out there, and then says the stock market rises and falls and does whatever. The economy could just bottom out, collapse, and I don't know what that means for anybody except for whoever has money is going to worry about it. People like some people that are already in the zero and they're trying to find a raft and they're fucking robbing each other. Like I said, that fucking money system causes swindlers and greedy ass fucking arrogant turd balls, basically narcissists, right? It's not even that, really. I don't think narcissists are that, like, savvy to, it's more like sociopaths and psychos that are wanting the power that is behind money just a little bit. See, I think narcissists might be doing that. I have no idea. See, you wonder, well, am I a narcissist? I must be a narcissist because you have certain traits that they list off. And it's like, no, you just have a mechanism within you that goes into those traits whenever you're feeling like you can't survive and you need help and you don't know how to help. I don't know, you start becoming manipulative. Maybe you tell a little lie to get by, and you're like, and see, that's what I'm saying. Well, thanks for the fucking system over there. And then everybody's gonna judge you now because what, you fell that fucking low? No, that's a society that loves to see people fall. They feel great. They feel great. That means that they're a success, right? Alan Watts talks about that, and I didn't know I was going to talk about that. But here comes the full moon in Libra. It's Venus ruled, And then we look at Venus over there. Well, the Venetian, yeah, and it's a beautiful place, to tell you the truth. It's really trying to heal us, but there's a big but, But no, I mean, it's really in a place that we can take advantage and say, no, I think loving compassion is what will make a use of anything and everything, really, especially money. See, now, but if there's a financial collapse, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like people like you and me who see we're not terribly in debt, and we don't have too much overhead. We're just kind of hanging in limbo, wondering when do we get help here, right? Well, we might have it coming. It might be that they might see if things turn into like, okay, so what if there's a relief fund coming from somewhere, somehow, some way? See, I'm just trying to keep people happy, and it's probably something that, people need to encourage me to say, hey, Shauna, man, take care of yourself. Please figure out how you can advertise more with a higher vibrational frequency that you can get your economy going, your own monies. Because, well, see, I can blame it on the transits right now, but it is Mars. See, Mars in our life rules mankind, the men in your life. If it's aspecting you strangely, you're probably having an issue with men. Maybe, I don't know. Do we have issues out there, people? Are we men and women with issues with each other? Just questioning. See, this is what this is going to bring up. Well, first of all, the sun in Aries is Mars ruled. It's exalted there. It's not a bad place for the sun. It's actually very strong. So when it starts to square to Mars, and they kind of usher each other in, see, that Mars square worries me, because it's not just a tra-la-la cardinal square. It's going to square in both cardinal, and then it's going to advance into Taurus. The sun is going to move into Taurus. It tells me there's a bottom out with the warlords. It tells me that the ambition of the people are going to be bottomed out by warlords, because now the ambition is if it's hooked into money, yep, that's my prediction. It might happen through some kind of a catastrophe to see that, no, this is total collapse right here. They can use it. Use. They can do an excuse-making thing. Pardon me, my communication. That cuts off the food or the money, or even water. If you think about it, really, because how controlled it is, and then all they have to do is just pinch off a little pipe of feed a freeway somewhere, or just make such an emergency that the human um, service system, which is the truck drivers and stuff, just say, no, I don't want to go out there and do it. You can't make me do it. And what they are really, what that is just a bunch of narcissists, really, and they're probably they are very incompetent. They can't just, you know what? No, now more than ever, you better fucking do it. Nah, they're just gonna say no. And so there's where somebody else has to take over the military, and there's where people will be taken care of. I'm sorry, Shauna, what world are you living in? Are you just gonna keep imagining things that aren't really happening? Sure, it'd be good to write a book to try and tell people what we see here. Because of how weird it is. See, people, it hasn't been very long that we can see material just flying around like confetti. Because why? People just wanted to make money. They needed to make money. And they got to a point where it's like, you know what? I need to get off this fucking negative fucking trip and write a story and make some money. That's what a lot of the really good, like, writers that everybody loves, like Ernest Hemingway and all the rest, men, by the way, they just they had to make money. And I think it's because they have imaginative version of what will happen and become of society. Not that it's already here now, if we continue on with what we continue on with, and like George Orwell and Aldous Huxley. Where we're at is the generationally communications. Bottom line, communications. I'm going to be one who, if finally when Mars gets away from my Mercury, and I can't guarantee this, see, because I'm getting antsy to just do something in the physical world and shut up. You know, communicate what I need to communicate on my level, and I might shut it down here. Um, I hate to say it because I know that I was onto something about the language thing. It's still working on me. I mean, I printed an article just today just to try to clarify to people that no, I know what I'm looking at here. Oh man, I am looking at something so profound. It's already here in front of our faces. It is so profound. You know, if you knew the real use for capitalizing, see, what I was shown, it's almost like excruciating. It's not fair. See, what I was shown is how to break it down linguistically, really. Our language is very complicating and it's dangerous because we don't hear what we're saying. And the reasons why people speak, we don't even look into it. A lot of it is ego. And so when you start to know that, you can back way out of thinking that should be involved in any of it at all. But we have a society out there that is running on pure fumes, I guess what you would say, just like it's basically a gaslight. I know a lot of people are kind of ingesting this kind of information that says, no, you were lied to, and it's true. See, especially if you're only going by what you were told, babes. You know, listening to anything. Really, you are trapped in a fucking chicken coop here. And your prison bars is electricity. The only way that something can get away with doing that to you is that they set out tools right in front of your face that says, no, this is your escape route, or you're using this correctly, right? And the answer is no, and nobody knows they even need to make a fucking escape. How is that, Shauna? What are you talking about? God, are you okay? Do you need a glass of water or something? Oh, all of humanity might need it by fucking the full moon here. I'm here to warn you. As a Mars person, we've been going through it anyway. You know, with Chiron return, generationally, the people that are turning 50, we are having a Chiron return. It's not an easy one. This one here with it being in Aries, see, every other 2 years, I think, there's a different generation having a different experience of a Chiron return, which is everybody who's turning 50. Somebody is turning 50 today and forever. As long as there is people not knowing where the kids are coming from, then we will have an overload of 50-year-olds handling their subconscious wounds. At that point, it's looking like a norm. It's looking like this, that it's the norm. See, we're talking about relationships and healing. Now, some people, they kind of know, and it's weird to detect this, to detect that this might be going on with society. See, there's some people that know that, like narcissists, it's possible that narcissists, they do. After a while, it is said that they know themselves well enough that they can just warn you. They'll warn you and they'll say, well, I am a game. And now you're in the game, right? What's the game, Shauna? What do you mean? See, they're not really interested in you. They're not really choosing you. They're choosing their own head trips. They're choosing themselves. A lot of time they're choosing the game that they play. They want you to play their game. You fell down low. You're not doing life right, and I'm here because of it. Comment section down below. Do you know that there's a person out there that can be like this, and they think that, no, I'm just a patch job. And then they're just playing a game, though. They don't care. They're laughing at you, right? Because they were on a conquest. They were doing a conquest. They wanted to conquer you. You know, oh, they saw you were down now, so the sociopaths will do this. They'll wait and wait and wait, and they just can't seem to get to you. See, I tried to talk to about this before. Minute 29, hope it's worth it getting into some kind of thing that's something that's interested in. But I think, yeah, no, my stepmother was like this. I think that a lot of people are like this. It's just they can't get to you unless you're vulnerable and you need an emotional support or something. You're giving some information. Now you actually reach out, and they are going like this. They say, hey, you need help, you need this, and they try to help you, but you're like, no, it's all transactory. And you're like, no, I'm fine. And you're doing transactions monetarily. Maybe you're doing work for them and they give you money, but you keep going like this, and you're noticing, wow, they're kind of off a little bit. It's like, no, I can't feel good around it. You just keep your eye on it. See, but the moment you are showing a really real life human quality, you're going to see how much that, first of all, they're not available there. No, it seems like they're there, right? But then when you really need them, no, they're not going to be there. You can call and say, and they'll say, they'll throw a book at you and say, this is what I think you should do with this situation. And it's not even them thinking that. They're saying, this is what the mainstream says to do with it. And you're like, because no, you were asking for support somehow, something. I don't know. Why did you call them in the first place? You thought that they cared. No, they can't care. They care about their position that they assume with you, which is usually a position of superiority. And if you listen close enough to know that they you can't ever expose your vulnerable parts. Like I said, they'll just throw you under the bus even more. They take credit for you getting up on your feet and doing better. They figured out something. Maybe the seasons just changed or something, and it's time for them to work. That's what humanity is going through that right now. You might have had a great idea, you see the future, but you can't move until Mars goes away from fucking Leo. And oh my God, good luck, babes. I mean, really, you're going to go down the rabbit hole if you have any kind of dream here. Ask Tesla. He's doing a fucking wooden version of what's happening as the pyramids over there is a massive scale of it. And when we look at that stuff, babes, do you ever contemplate how you're being animated here? What is going on here? Like, what is going on here? Does anybody ever ask that? See, I'm looking at around it and like just like people that are on programming unreal because they don't kind of click out of it and say, whoa, isn't this a trip? Right? They don't question it. I mean, how many? Millions and billions. Isn't it a trip? It's just, to me, it's a trip. See, there's called ascending masters here, maybe spiritual people, I don't know, and they get to this point, they're like, oh, and because what they are is they're not interested in the world, they don't care for it. I mean, they know that it's there, like, okay, yeah, but maybe it's all done for them. Maybe they already went and saw everything and did everything. See, there's reincarnation, and maybe they have bones piled up 2 miles high because that's how many times they've come back here to do what? See, after a while, you get to the ascended accomplishment that just says, you know what? It's the same story running over and over again. Now, I want to get to those stories to make you hard to try and think about it. See, because I've thought about it and think with me a bit. The music that we listen to now. See, I know that. See, I'm detecting it already. They're kind of doing it. Oh, they're trying to take it all away from us. By the way, you better stand up and start fucking doing things worthwhile. You notice that it's on social media. You can see that, they'll track you down and they want to talk to you. Yeah. They want something from you. Charge. See, right now, I don't care about this video of projecting on myself, really, and making people think a certain thing of me that's not true and any of that. See, that's why I'm making a fresh new video, because some of the other videos in the past, I'm now letting you in, minute 36, babes. This is the same for everybody, though. We are to communicate. By the time that fucking moon gets in the Libra, something is liable to break off. Because why? Because the communication is broken. Some people are practicing. See, now let's talk about these Libra people. Okay, so I am seeing a trend that goes on with the Libra risings. Men. Men that are just not apt to handle those emotions. They shut down. They don't know how to communicate, right? I see this happening. I know a couple Libra rises up personally, and I think it's the Libra's trait, particularly the rising sign. They have a negative side that it's terrible that they're kind of gullible, you know. They do people pleasing, and I would love to talk about that. No, you want to seek God's approval. It could come through people. If they're in touch with God, you will be nothing but a reminder to these people, and it's reinforcing. See, you cannot please people enough. You're asking to be set down lower than snake shit in a wagon rut in their minds because they are just people. And once you stop giving to them, they're going to put you there. So that's why you want to seek approval from God. You don't want to seek to please people. There's where you start separating yourself out and away from people that, see, they're not going to reciprocate back at you. They're going to reciprocate some kind of trap and an energetic pull that says, no, if you don't give this to me, I'm not going to like you. That's fucked up. Discard those people. I don't have to tell you. See, because I know there is a balance to be made. There's that word balance. For instance, it's been all my life since the age of 16 that I've worked for money. I love working with my hands. I love if somebody is able to see me working with my hands and they kind of look and see if I'm doing a good job or not. They do a double take because I'm fucking doing an amazing goddamn job. The damn thing just taught me, and you probably never seen it done this way. Watch out, I am pure awareness doing something that when pure awareness does something for just 2 years, it can surpass the fucking idiot that has done something for 50 years just for money. They're doing it, and they don't care to innovate and do something and just a little tweak and a change here, and it makes it sell a lot more, and they have more time to spend not doing that. They just made it happen faster for them. So you get what I'm saying? Awareness does it and innovates so much better. See, that's the thing. And I would love to be hired to do something for money that works my hands. See, there's a part of the organism. A lot of people are suffering this now. We've already heard it, that humankind is losing their IQ levels. They're losing their skill because they are being undermined. They get how much trade from China now over there, and nobody's using their hands to do anything. Nobody's farming. Bill Gates owns 250,000 acres of farming in the United States. I wish I could tell you that it's pure benevolence that is operating through these men. They borrow and hijack what benevolence would like to try to do here because they have a fair shot at shit here too. Talking about if there is a broke off civilization that doesn't like that there are atom bombs being set off by some scientists who are doing what? See, if you knew that this place was like a soup, but really, no, it could be boiled down to just a few kinds that a very little of it is humankind, Hans. Very little of it. We see so much possession and overtake that the fucking whole place needs exorcism, man. It needs to be exorcised away from the spells and what, hi, listening to this. Hello, how are you? See, once you see the truth, you can't go back.